Good afternoon from the National Service of the Liberia Broadcasting System. Welcome to Newsline. For the next 30 minutes, we bring you news from Liberia and other parts of the world. My name is Jab Davis, presenting on this Thursday, March 21, 2024 edition of the program. And top stories: President Joseph Boakai dismisses NASCOP Deputy Director General Kamena Sifos Yeke for gross insubordination to his office.
The conduct of the deputy at the Social Security over the past couple of weeks was an affront to the office of the president.
MICAT complains former LINA Director General Kwame Weeks to Justice Ministry for refusal to turn over the entity's social media platform. Asset Retrieval Task Force gives 10 days ultimatum to former officials to return all properties belonging to the state.
No person or questions, despite his or her former portfolio, will be exempted.
And away from home, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu halts foreign trips by government officials. All of these stories plus more are our package. But first, let's take a bulletin of news with Vafle Kamara.
President Joseph Boakai has dismissed the Deputy Director General of the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation, Kamena Sifos Yeke, for gross insubordination. According to an executive mansion release, the president's action is predicated upon Madam Yeke's failure to adhere to the high standards of conduct expected of a public servant. However, the Liberian leader has expressed gratitude for her service to the corporation, but re-emphasized the government's preparedness to work in the best interest of the country and its people. President Boakai further committed his administration to upholding the principles of integrity and accountability in public service. Meanwhile, President Joseph Boakai has made additional nominations in government affecting several ministries and agencies, including the Liberia Broadcasting System. According to an executive mansion release, those nominated include Joas Hodges, Alexandria Amnon, and James Nangbe, Deputy Directors General for Media Services Administration and Rural Broadcasting, Liberia Broadcasting System. Others are Boakai Salif, Bob Cato, and Elton Dixon, Director General, Deputy Directors General for Administration and Operations, National Food Assistance Agency. According to the release, the president also made nominations at the Internal Audit Agency, Bureau of State Enterprises, Ministries of Information, Internal Affairs, Gender and Defense, among others. The release also quotes President Boakai urging those nominated and appointed to continue demonstrating diligence, commitment, and service to country, though the nominations are subject to confirmation by the Senate where applicable. Authorities at the Information Ministry have complained to former Liberia News Agency Director General Kwame Weeks to the Justice Ministry for allegedly personalizing a social media platform of the ministry. Information Minister Jeremy Pia said the ministry elevated the matter to the Justice Ministry because of Weeks' failure to surrender the platform despite several negotiations.
We held meetings with him. He asked us to write a letter. We just wanted to be calm as responsible people who know what they are doing. We wrote the letter. He has still refused to cooperate and turn over that platform that belongs to the ministry. So we have elevated the matter to the Ministry of Justice.
Minister Pia said the ministry will pursue all legal means to ensure that Mr. Weeks do not personally use the Lina Facebook page, which is an asset of the Information Ministry. He made the disclosure Tuesday in Monrovia at MICAT's regular press briefing. The Asset and Property Retrieval Task Force has given 10-day ultimatum to former officials of government to return all properties belonging to the state. The head of the task force, Councillor Edwin Clamartin, told the MICAT regular press briefing on Thursday that individuals failing to comply with the deadline will face action. Councillor Martin said the exercise will be conducted based on documented evidence, adding that no one will be exempted from the process irrespective of their political affiliations.
Despite his or her former portfolio will be exempted. On this note, the task force is granting 10 days grace period commencing March 22nd to March 31st, 2024 to those mentioned supra to voluntarily surrender all state properties to avoid unspecified legal action and consequences.
He said Liberia has since suffered massive corruption and bad governance in the public sector, noting that it is time for corrupt officials or individuals to account for their actions. Councillor Martin also urged the public to cooperate with the task force to foster transparency and accountability in Liberia. The World Bank Group, in collaboration with the government, is expected to launch its Country Climate and Development Report on Liberia. According to the World Bank Group, the report looks at Liberia's economic development, including poverty reduction, economic growth, and reduction of inequality. The Climate and Development Report on Liberia examines climate change, climate policies, and investments in the context of the Paris Agreement. Findings and recommendations from the report will be presented to the government for policy options and to ensure a development pathway towards a climate smart and secure future. Meanwhile, government, civil society, and donor stakeholders are expected to grace Friday's launch of the Liberia Country Climate and Development Report. The 7th Judicial Circuit Court in Grand Bassa County has sentenced a 50-year-old man to 13 years imprisonment for raping a 9-year-old girl. The convict, James Chie, was found guilty of abusing the minor on June 6, 2022 at a gold camp in Konobo district. A correspondent said the perpetrator had denied the allegations laid by the prosecution. James Chie was a former worker of the Golo Gold Mining Company, is expected to serve his sentence at the National Palace of Corrections in Grand Bassa or Grand Jida County. Local education authorities in River G County are appealing for placement of volunteer teachers on government payroll. River G County Education Officer Jones Nyimpan is also calling on the Education Ministry to provide motivational incentives for rural teachers. According to our reporter, Mr. Yimpa made the appeal Wednesday during stakeholders engagement meeting with Education Minister Dr. Jaso Jala in River G County in continuation of the ministry's nationwide assessment tour. Responding, Education Minister Dr. Jaso Jala assured the people of River G County of government's relentless stance to address the overwhelming challenges. While in River G County, Minister Jala toured several government schools, including the Chidipo, Ketoken, Biapo Motilacho, and Twe Jackle High Schools, among others. The administration of the Belema Public School in Bon County is calling for government swift intervention to ensure the smooth operation of the school. The school's vice principal for instruction, Edward Vatike, told ELBC that the school lacks basic essentials to smoothly run the institution. He outlined several challenges, including the deplorable state of the institution and the lack of sufficient teaching staff, which he said are impeding the effectiveness of the institution. It also stressed the need for the construction of a new hand pump to enable students have access to safe drinking water. And over 200 victims of recent storm disaster in Gamu Town, Bon County, are calling on national government and other goodwill individuals for assistance. Recently, several residents in the area were made homeless due to the storm. The victims told our correspondent that the situation has led them to taking shelter at the homes of relatives and friends in the county. According to them, since the incident, they are yet to receive support